Hello guys, welcome back. This is Modern Man MTG here today, and today we're playing 5-color aggro. So basically what 5-color aggro is, you're looking to play like all your shot flames that you can, like tribal flames and a bunch of like multicolored creatures, so you can abuse Pillar of the Perunes, and Ancient Ziggurat, and cards like that. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the game and let's see how it goes for us. This is one of my favorite decks I have built right now. I haven't got to play it much, unfortunately. Time's not permitting right now. I have a bunch of papers to work on. But it's a lot of fun. I mean, any deck I can get a play Siege right in, I'm pretty excited about. And does this hand a keep? This hand looks pretty good to me. We can go Ancient Ziggurat and Birds. Keep Spellqueller up. Seems fine. If they bolt the Spellqueller, we can play a Tidehollow Sculler on 2. So it plays a Swamp. Inquisition, okay. What are they going to take with their Inquisition? Hopefully not the Birds. Well, actually, I'd prefer them to take the Birds. That means they don't have a removal spell in their hand, I'm assuming. For our sake. Opponent's probably trying to figure out what we're doing with this deck. I would also be doing the same thing if I was my opponent. Opponent does take the Birds. As I said, that could be a good sign for us, depending on how you interpret it. That was a pretty good draw. Unfortunately, that's downsides to playing this deck. Go ahead and pass turn. What is that? Am I playing against 8-whack? Or not 8-whack, 8-rack, rather. Opponent plays a Verdant Catacombs. Opponent Thoughtseize me, sure. I think we're playing against 8-rack. If that's the case, we have Qasali Pride Mages in the sideboard. Things like that. I haven't actually got to play this match much if that's what we're playing against. Opponent's debating pretty hard on what they want to take here. It's probably not Tribal Flames or Spellqueller or Bolt. So it's really, I think it's really down to the Scholars, just because I can't cast any of these other cards in my hand right now. Unfortunately. We draw another Bolt. That's not good for us. Go ahead and cast the Tidehollow Scholar. Hope to draw a red source next turn. Opponent has Slaughter Pact, Lightning Bolt, Terminate. It's not actually 8-rack, so I'm actually a little bit more excited, but it seems to be Jund. Lightning Bolt's the most mana-efficient removal spell, so I'll probably take that. Make him waste the Terminate. A little bit more excited about this match now that we're not playing against 8-rack. I don't know how well this deck would play against 8-rack. Opponent's probably getting... sure, an Overgrown Tomb. Why not? Makes sense. So they have 2 green, 2 red, 2 black. I'm assuming they're going to put it into play tapped. Opponent's taking a while on their choices this match. Fortunately for us, but that just allows me to talk to you guys more, right? Put the Overgrown Tomb into play tapped, so that probably means they're going to bolt it with an untapped Stomping Ground. Not bolt, terminate. Main phase is to terminate because I have a Spellqueller. Makes sense. They get their bolt back. Now they have Bolt Slaughter Pact in hand and a random card. We draw another Scholar. So let's go ahead and see what that random card is. Can't bolt the Scholar. There's no red mana. Fatal push. Fatal push it. They drew a Wooded Foothills. So we'll take the ball this turn. Here's where we really need to draw a third land of the fetch land variety or the shock land. We really don't want to draw a third. Opponent has a Liliana. Sure. That seems fair, I guess. Make me sack my Scholar. Fortunate. Now we really need to draw a red land so I can bolt the Liliana. That is not a red land. Pass turn. Unfortunately, with these greedy land-based decks like this one, for instance, you do get mana screwed sometimes. There's no really eliminating that, just because it's one of the reasons why the deck's good. You get to play a bunch of good cards, but the mana base is kind of wonky. I don't know what the opponent's debating. They have Slaughter Pact Bolt in their hand. So, I mean, I guess they're probably just going to fire off a Bolt here. Probably going to discard a Tribal Flames to their +1 on their Liliana. Falls to 12, does fire off the Bolt. So now we know they just have Slaughter Pact in their hand. Curious, my opponent will take the Liliana up knowing that they have the Slaughter Pact. Or if they're just going to discard a different card in their hand. Playing against Super Saiyan Batman. Opponent ticks up the Liliana. Sure. Probably going to discard Tribal Flames. Opponent discarded the Slaughter Pact. They have a Scooze. They have the Scavengers. Okay, so now we really need to draw that red source. You hit a Scholar, they gain a life. Scavenging Moves grows. Red source. One time. We're going to play the Solid Pride Mage. Pass turn. Opponent going to tick up the Liliana. Is that something they're interested in doing? And make me sack my Pride Mage. Sure. That seems fine. 1, 2, 3. Basically 5 removal spells played this game, including the discard spells. No big deal. Opponent has another Liliana. Why not? Why wouldn't they have another Liliana? Sure. Discard a Spell Queller. Probably just good to put up here if we don't draw the red source. Opponent grows the Scooze. It's my Spell Queller. Attacks for 4. Fall to 16. Draw the red source. Okay. Still probably can't do anything, so I'm just going to scoop it up anyways. So what could happen is I can play my red source. +1's the Liliana, and I can bolt one thing. So it doesn't really matter. I can scoop it up just for time reasons, so I can get you a shorter video, so more of you guys will watch the whole thing. Against Jund, I like Thalia. I'm not really a Meddling Mage fan. I like Spell Queller. I like Fulminator Mages. I like Kolagon's Command. I like Rock's War Monk. Do I like another Pride Mage? Just for the Blood Moon consideration. And maybe a Path, another Path. Cards were probably Knight of New Alara. Gets hit by Bolt, unfortunately. Yeah, Teague really doesn't do anything. Not a huge fan of Tribal Flames in this matchup. Um, Maybe I don't need the Bolt. I can hope they don't bring in the Blood Moon because it'll hurt them as well. Looking to cut 2 more cards. Probably should be a 3-drop. Some 3-drops, I'm assuming. Smiter's good against Liliana. Maybe it's just Mantis Riders. 2 Mantis Riders. And try it like this. I guess there could have been consideration for I probably should have cut a Bolt and just replaced it with Path so I could Path for Goyf. It's a better removal spot for Goyf. I would like to play first. Thanks for asking. This hand seems pretty good, so I'll keep it. Let's go fetch a green source. A green-white source, preferably. And Temple Garden, untapped. Cast Birds. Pass turn. I've probably got the Rip, the Hand Rip. Probably going to take Kitchen Finks. If that's the case, I probably want to play Rock's Warmonk. It's a better use of my mana, and if they don't have Terminate or anything like that, can't get Lightning Bolted. What does the opponent take? Probably Kitchen Finks. It's either Kitchen Finks or... Actually, they got a few good targets. It's probably not Mantis Rider. It's probably Kitchen Finks, Rock's Warmonk, or Thalia. They take the Rock's Warmonk. So that probably means they have like a bunch of bolt removal spells. So Thalia is probably not the greatest. So play Blood Crypt, untapped. Cast the Kitchen Finks. The reason I think they have a bunch of like bolt removal spells is because Bolt doesn't kill Rock's Warmonk, if that's what they're considering. And they probably just have a bunch of damage removal spells, and this gives me more life in the long run. Plays a Black Cleave Cliffs. Okay. What do they have? 2 hand rip spells. They're going to take my Thalia and my Mantis Rider. Bob, okay. Fine with you playing Bob. I guess the question becomes, do I want to trade my Kitchen Finks with a Bob? Still 2-for-1 kills, then they're going to kill the Kitchen Finks still. So probably attack with the Kitchen Finks. And then play Mantis Rider. That might not be right. Maybe I'm not supposed to bring Thalias in against Jund. I don't know. It just seems alright. Doesn't seem great by any means. Play the Thalia. Pass turn. Bob trigger. Reveals a swamp. Of course it does. Bob always reveals the lands. Which creature is the opponent going to kill? That's the question. Maybe I should have kept Tribal Flames in. You know, we have Forest, Plains, Mountain, Swamp, and Island. So, I mean, that's a 5-mana damage spell for 2 mana. Seems alright. Maybe I do want Tribal Flames over Bolt. Maybe. I'm really wondering what the opponent's considering here. I mean, the choice probably isn't that hard. I guess a Ghost Quarter. What am I going to Ghost Quarter? One of my lands? I have basics on the deck. You probably don't know that because I'm playing such a greedy land base. Attack with your Bob. I probably block with Thalia. Why would you play Ghost Quarter if you're not going to Ghost Quarter me? It's a very strange play. Here we will cast a Scholar. Hopefully I take their Damnation out of their hand. Probably not. Opponent has a Bolt, I'm assuming. Gotta pay another 1 for the Thalia. And bolt the Thalia, that's fine. Tidehole will resolve. Tidehole resolves. What do we get to see? Probably Fatal Push, Slaughter Pact, another Bolt. Lily, Anger, huh? Probably gotta take the Anger of the Gods. Not even gonna think about it. Play the Mantis Rider. And go attacking. Attack the opponent for 6. We have a creature to sack to the Liliana if we need to. Pass turn. Bob draws the opponent another Bob. I'm fine with that. Opponent plays a Swamp. Cast Liliana, sure. Should probably be ticking up the Liliana, because if you take down the Liliana rather, make your sack a dude. I'm gonna go ahead and sack the Birds of Paradise. So we know 3 of the 4 cards. Come on, good card. Okay, Scholar's pretty good. Go ahead and attack. Don't care about Liliana upticking. And I don't mind my opponent having to waste their entire turn to play another one. Sure. Falls to 6. Our Bob dies. We get another Kitchen Finks. Go up to 17. Play the second Tidehole Scholar. What did the opponent draw? The opponent drew Thoughtseize. So here I'll probably just take the Bob, so they don't have a way to block. Opponent just plays Liliana, sure. Makes me sack a dude. I'll go ahead and sack the Kitchen Finks. And my opponent just scoops it up. My opponent has apparently seen enough, and they realize they're not going to against John. Tribal Flames seemed alright there. Maybe I should just be trimming all Lightning Bolts. But now that I know they're playing the Bob version of Jund, maybe I'd rather have Lightning Bolts. choice. I think I could shave the Pride Mage. I think I'm going to get greedy with it. Add a Tribal Flames. Let's go ahead and run 2 Tribal Flames with 3 Lightning Bolts. I don't think I need the path. And then we can try it like this. So basically what I did with that sideboard plan was I was putting the shield down against the Blood Moon. Hands for fairly medium. Couple hand spells, hand disruption spells, and a couple removal spells. This hand's not really good. Can we get a better 6? Can we get a better 6? Let's remove. We can see if we can get a better 6. I think this hand really not much better. Yeah, I'll keep it though. I mean, keep a Siege Rhino on top. We can cast that. That's a thing we can cast. That's a castable card, as the cool kids like to call it. Maybe I should have kept my first hand. If they don't have a hand removal spell, so let's just play Bloodstained Mire, pass turn. Start fetching up the perfect mana base. It's an Overgrown Tomb, tapped. Hopefully Tidal Scholar or their Liliana out of their hand. That would be good. Cracks their Wooded Foothills. Probably going to cast a Bob here. Stomping Ground, untapped. Falls to 16. My opponent is being very liberal with their life total. Scavenging Ooze? I don't think I care about a Scavenging Ooze. I mean, it's annoying. It's Bob. Dark Confidant. Okay. Sure. Apparently I decided not to crack my Bloodstained Mire. Well, I'll go ahead and crack it here. Grab a... Godless Shrine untapped. Play Ancient Ziggurat. Cast Ancient Ziggurat. Tappy, or Plague Ancient Ziggurat. Casting Tidal Scholar. Hope to take the Liliana that I'm assuming they have in their hand. Terminate Goyf Liliana. Well, I'm going to take the Liliana and hope they terminate it so they can't cast their Liliana. So then I can Spell Queller their Liliana, hopefully. Bob Trigger. Draw another Terminate. Great for us, I guess. Oh, Jund. Why are you so consistent? Basically, in my opinion, Jund is the fun police. It's the most consistent deck in the modern, in my opinion. It does everything that it does consistently. Not that that makes sense or anything, but you know, it always has its removal spells, and then it just plays value cards like Tarmogoyf, Bob, Liliana. I mean, that's probably why the deck costs just as much as a Legacy deck, as far as I know, or used to at least. Opponent once again being very generous with their time. Probably double queuing or something like that. Plays their Ghost Quarter. Sure. The land sequencing by my opponent is very confusing. What do they got? 3 mana, Sword of Light and Shadow. That's a card. I have not seen that play Jund before. Okay. Sure. You got it, bro. I draw another Siege Rhino, which is going to be good later in the game. We'll play Woodland Foothills untapped and pass turn. Let's hope my opponent takes 8 damage from the Dark Confidant on their flippin' Emrakul. That's what we need. Not an Anger of the Gods. Close, though. Close. Really is. So I have 6 damage in my hand and Siege Rhinos. Are they just going to equip the sword? Probably jamming the Spell Queller no matter what they play. If they just equipped up the sword and attack, jamming the Spell Queller at the end step. I'm assuming they're also going to cast a Tarmogoyf here. Here's the Tarmogoyf as a 1/2. Maybe I don't care. I probably care. Crack the Wooded Foothills. Get a... I don't know. Green, white. I need blue source. Any blue source. So a breeding pool untapped. Spell Queller the Tarmogoyf. Blue, white, doesn't matter. Opponent still has a card in their hand we do not know about. Give me your Tarmogoyf. Guess they can just terminate here. That doesn't seem like a good play since they have an Anger of the Gods. It does seem like what they're going to do. No, they're just going to equip. Okay. My opponent's pretty good at playing the deck, I'm assuming. Take 4. Fall to 10, they gain 3. Go to 13. Draw another Spell Queller. Interesting. Very interesting. So what I got to consider now that I drew the Spell Queller is my opponent doesn't find another land. Which is unlikely, I'm assuming, and a very bad bet. So what we can do, we can hold up the Spell Queller, we can jam a Siege Rhino, or jam a Mantis Rider. They all represent the same amount of damage. But yeah, I think we'll just jam. We'll go to attack. Sword of Light and Shadow, and Anger of the Gods. A little bit of a nombo right there. Attack with our dudes. Opponent falls to 9. Play Stomping Ground, untapped, jam the Siege Rhino. Opponent falls to 6. I go back up to 11. This is an interesting game. Bob triggers, they draw a land, so now I'm good. I didn't play this. Glad I didn't play the Spell Queller. They're going to terminate the Siege Rhino. Sure. Okay, so they don't want to play the Anger of the Gods and get rid of Bob, I'm assuming. Which is weird to me. So they have 3 of the cards in their hand. Terminate, Anger, Bloodstained Mire. They could have a Liliana here, and that would be awkward. Opponent can't get a creature back, but they go up to 9. If we draw a Tribal Flames, we win the game. That'd be kind of neat. Win with the Tribal Flames. Opponent has to have another spell here. It wouldn't make sense to terminate if they didn't, because I couldn't block anyways. This is a very interesting game. Opponent apparently does not want to cast. We draw a Blood Crypt. I don't think that matters. So my opponent can pull the Spell Queller and then block the Scholar, which is awkward. Opponent falls to 5. We will play the Siege Rhino. Put the opponent to 2. Play Blood Crypt tapped and pass turn. Come on. Every time they flip land. They might actually die to their own Bob if they don't anger here. And I don't know if they actually play a mountain in the deck. I guess my opponent has some questionable lines there. Playing the Twilight Mire when I know they have the Bloodstained Mire in their hand. Maybe they only have 1 Stomping Ground and no Blood Crypts. Maybe. You gotta terminate the Rhino again. He's got to almost terminate its own Bob, though. Huh. What is the opponent gonna do? I never thought in a million worlds this deck would be able to beat Jund. I don't know if it's because I played well, my opponent played badly, or I got lucky and the opponent didn't. They all probably factor in a little bit. Like I said, playing the Twilight Mire and not playing the Bloodstained Mire was a little bit questionable in my opinion there. As always, guys, now that we're here in the downtime, my opponent's thinking about what they're going to do. Remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. More subscribers that we have, the more videos not more videos I'm going to make, the more decks I'll have. It's really expensive, as most of you people know if you're Magic players, which I'm assuming you are if you watch my videos, to have a lot of Magic decks like I do. So if you guys have any ideas where I can raise funds to play more Magic decks, anything like that, go ahead and let me know down below. We're approaching 100 subscribers. We're about halfway there. I mean, I'm super excited and super stoked every day when I wake up and see more subscribers on my channel. Unfortunately, I would like to make these videos like a day or 2 before I post them, but unfortunately, while going to school, and currently I have 1, 2, 3, 4 papers to write, that is almost impossible to do. So I record them while I can and then post them ahead or after. Not directly after, but when I get the chance. Opponent's going to terminate something. They're going to terminate the siege right now. Okay. Sure. Opponent's going to go combat. Attack for 4. I go to 6. They gain 3 life. They go to 5. Okay. They have double removal spells. They have an abrupt decay for the Spell Queller to get the Tarmogoyf to block the Tidal Scholar. That's a way they could stop this from happening. There's the Bloodstain Mire. Okay. Opponent cracks the Bloodstain Mire. Sure. At some point, they're going to have to find a way to kill their Confidant. They go back down to 2. Bolt the Spell Queller? Or your Bob? Bolt the Spell Queller, gets his voice back. Okay. Now they're just dead if they don't have an Abrupt Decay. Opponent chose not to exile the cast a Tarmogoyf. Probably a little bit of a misclick there. Oh well, it happens to all of us. Especially when you're in a time crunch like this. My opponent's only got 3 minutes left. I still think with the way my opponent's playing, we win the game. We're just going to jam a Mantis Rider here. And attack for 3. Letting the opponent know I have them dead anyways. So they don't feel as bad about it. Sorry, I didn't mean to make it that big. What is Devo? My opponent said Devo. Don't think it matters. Blue. Red, white. Devastating. What is that? Devastating what? Okay, I don't know what they mean by devastating. Is there a magic card that's got devastating in its name? I have no idea. But anyways, guys, as always, remember to like, or I already said it all early. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I hope you guys have a good night, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.